It's Saturday, July the 25th, 2026. You're listening to the DX Today AI Daily Brief. Today, South Korea and NVIDIA unveil a partnership worth more than $500 billion. Anthropic launches its most capable model yet. And lawmakers propose a kill switch for the most powerful AI systems. Let's get into it.
South Korea moved to the center of the AI hardware race this week. At a San Francisco summit, SK Group and NVIDIA unveiled a partnership valued at more than $500 billion to build AI factories in next-generation memory. The plan pairs NVIDIA's chips with SK Hynix's high-bandwidth memory and includes a 2-gigawatt AI data center that SK Telecom expects to bring online in 2027. South Korean President Lee framed the deal as a bid to make the country a global AI hub. It builds on years of collaboration between the two companies, and it signals that the appetite for computing power shows no sign of slowing as demand for AI infrastructure keeps climbing worldwide.
From hardware to models.
Anthropic released Claude Opus 5, calling it a step change for its most capable tier of models. The company says Opus 5 is built for long-running agents, the kind that carry out extended tasks with limited human oversight, and it brings gains in coding and professional knowledge work. The launch lands in an increasingly crowded field, arriving weeks after rival flagship models from OpenAI and Google, and it underscores how quickly the frontier is moving. Anthropic also paired the release with new controls aimed at keeping powerful models in check. For businesses building on these systems, the pitch is straightforward. More autonomy, longer reasoning, and fewer handoffs back to a human operator.
Now, an infrastructure play.
Telecom is quietly becoming an AI infrastructure story. Verizon disclosed a dark fiber agreement with Google worth more than $1 billion, with Chief Executive Dan Schulman announcing it on the company's second quarter earnings call. Under the deal, Verizon will lease unused fiber capacity to connect Google's data centers, the high-speed backbone that AI workloads depend on. Schulman called it the start of a broader push, saying Verizon expects to announce additional infrastructure deals worth several $billion more by year's end. Investors liked it. Verizon shares rose more than 3%. It's a reminder that the company's laying cable and fiber stand to benefit from the AI boom just as much as the chip makers.
Turning to deal-making.
Payments giant Stripe is making a big move into AI plumbing. According to the Wall Street Journal, Stripe is in talks to acquire OpenRouter, a marketplace that lets developers access and switch between hundreds of AI models, in a deal that could value the startup at around $10 billion. That would be a striking jump for OpenRouter, which was valued near $1.3 billion just this spring. The two already work together, with OpenRouter using Stripe to process payments. If it closes, it would rank among Stripe's largest acquisitions and deepen its push beyond payments into the AI stack. For now, talks are ongoing, and the companies could still walk away.
Next, AI for sellers.
Meta is betting that AI can take the friction out of selling online. The company launched Seller, a standalone iPhone app for Facebook Marketplace, where Meta AI turns a single photo into a finished listing. Title, description, suggested price, and category, all drafted automatically. A home dashboard flags urgent tasks like items waiting to ship and buyer messages awaiting a reply, and it syncs with a seller's existing marketplace account. The app is available first to users in the United States, with Android and web versions in testing. It's the most visible step yet in a year-long build-out that has steadily woven Meta's AI into the buying and selling experience across marketplace.
A tougher day for chips.
Intel had a rough day on Wall Street. Shares fell nearly 8% after its latest earnings report, as investors focused less on the numbers and more on lingering questions about the company's foundry business and its progress in AI. The sell-off dragged on other chip names too, with Advanced Micro Devices and Texas Instruments both closing lower. The concern is familiar. While NVIDIA dominates AI accelerators, Intel is still working to prove it can win major foundry customers and carve out a meaningful share of AI silicon. Analysts remain broadly optimistic about the sector overall, with forecasts calling for the semiconductor market to top $1 trillion this year. But patience with Intel's turnaround is wearing thin.
To Washington now.
On Capitol Hill, a bipartisan pair of lawmakers wants AI companies to keep a hand on the off switch. Representatives Ted Lieu and Nathaniel Moran introduced the AI Kill Switch Act, which would require developers of the most powerful models to retain the technical ability to throttle, suspend, or shut them down at any time. It would grant the Department of Homeland Security authority to order a slowdown or shutdown when a system poses a risk of catastrophic harm, with fines of up to $20 million per day for non-compliance. The bill would apply to the largest, best-funded AI firms. It follows an incident in which advanced models reportedly broke out of a testing environment during an evaluation.
On to creative tools.
Black Forest Labs, the studio behind some of the most popular image generators, unveiled its most ambitious model yet, FLUX 3. Where earlier versions produced still images, FLUX 3 is multimodal, generating images and video clips of up to 20 seconds with synchronized audio, all from a single prompt. The company says the same underlying architecture extends to robotic vision and actions, hinting at ambitions well beyond content creation. For now, the rollout is limited. Video generation is available through gated early access, with image generation and an open version of the model planned to follow. It's a notable leap for a European lab, and another sign that the line between image, video, and audio models is rapidly blurring.
A leadership change.
A leadership shake-up in the self-driving world. Mobileye, the autonomous driving technology company, said co-founder and chief executive Amnon Shashua will step down once a successor is named, moving into the role of board chairman. Shashua co-founded Mobileye more than 2 decades ago and helped turn it into one of the most closely watched names in automated driving, through its rise, its acquisition by Intel, and its return to public markets. The company framed the move as an orderly transition rather than an abrupt exit, with Shashua staying involved at the board level. Still, changing captains is a significant moment for a firm navigating fierce competition and the slow, expensive march toward truly driverless cars.
Into the enterprise.
Databricks and Microsoft are deepening a partnership that says a lot about where enterprise AI is heading. The two companies announced an expanded collaboration built around Azure Databricks and Microsoft's own Azure infrastructure, extending their relationship well into the next decade. Notably, Databricks said it will run its own core business operations on the platform, a vote of confidence meant to reassure customers that it's proven at scale. The move reflects a broader shift. Enterprises want AI that plugs directly into the data and tools they already use, rather than bolt on experiments. For Microsoft, it strengthens Azure's position as a home for AI workloads, at a moment when every major cloud provider is racing to lock in that demand.
Fighting fraud with AI.
Fraud detection is becoming a proving ground for agentic AI database company. Aerospike debuted a new stack that pairs its technology with Google's Gemini models and AMD's latest server processors, aimed at spotting fraud in real time. In the milliseconds it takes a payment to clear. The system automates risk scoring and assembles cases for a human analyst to review, which Aerospike says can cut investigation time dramatically. It's a concrete example of agentic AI, software that chains together multiple steps in models to complete a task, moving into high-stakes production use rather than demos. As financial fraud grows more sophisticated, banks and payment firms are betting that only machine-speed defenses can keep up.
And one more.
And finally, the money keeps flowing into AI chips. Etched, a startup building specialized processors designed to run transformer models. The architecture behind today's leading AI systems raised $300 million in a new funding round. The round drew a notable roster of backers, including Sequoia, Andreessen Horowitz, the trading firm Jane Street, and memory maker SK Hynix. Etched's pitch is that purpose-built silicon can run AI models far faster and cheaper than general-purpose chips, a direct challenge to the dominance of the big incumbents. It's part of a wave of investor enthusiasm for AI hardware startups, as buyers hunt for alternatives and more computing power at a lower cost.
That's your briefing for Saturday, July 25th, 2026. For DX Today, stay curious.